The Mehra house always looked peaceful from the outside, but inside it carried storms no one talked about. Rhea Mehra stepped inside the house one late evening, exhausted from managing work, groceries, and the endless list of responsibilities left to her. Her husband worked long hours and returned home close to midnight every day. She had gotten used to the loneliness, but she had not gotten used to the tension that came with the house's newest resident, Kabir. Her brother-in-law, Samir's younger brother, Kabir, had moved in 2 months ago. After losing his job and breaking off his engagement, he was charming, smart, and handsome. But trouble followed him like a shadow, and Rhea sensed something about him that made her uneasy. He rarely spoke, mostly stayed in his room, and avoided family interactions. But sometimes she caught him watching her with unreadable expressions. Not inappropriate, just unsettling. Something was off. She knew it. She felt it. That evening, as she carried groceries to the kitchen, she found Kabir sitting silently at the dining table, staring at the wall as if lost in thought. He didn't acknowledge her entrance, just sat there, rigid, tense, and distant. She placed the bags on the counter and broke the silence with a polite, "You're home early today." Kabir didn't look at her. "I didn't go out today." His tone was dry, clipped. Rhea noticed his eyes were ready there from lack of sleep or something else. Her heart tightened a little. Something wasn't right. She started putting groceries away when she felt Kabir stand up behind her. The sense of closeness made her shoulders stiffen, though nothing inappropriate happened. Kabir simply walked to the kitchen shelf and grabbed a glass of water. Still silent, still tense. "Are you all right?" Rhea asked gently. Kabir placed the glass on the counter with a loud clink. "Do I look all right?" His voice was edged in frustration. She hesitated. "Did you get any news about the job interviews?" "No." He ran a hand through his hair. "And I don't need sympathy." "It wasn't sympathy," she said calmly. "I was just asking." His jaw tightened. "You think I'm a burden, don't you?" Rhea blinked. "No, Kabir. Why would you think that?" He scoffed. "Because I see the way you look at me, like I'm some problem you don't want in this house." His tone was sharp, but behind it, she sensed deep hurt. Rhea exhaled slowly. "You're going through a tough time. I understand that. I'm not against you. I just want peace in this house." Kabir turned away, gripping the counter as if holding back emotions. "Peace," he whispered bitterly. "That's something I never get." The heaviness in his voice startled her. She wanted to ask more, but before she could, her phone rang. She stepped aside to answer. "Hey, I'll be late," he said, sounding tired. "As always," she murmured. "What?" "Nothing," she lied. "Come home safely." When she hung up, Kabir was gone from the kitchen. She heard his bedroom door shut a little too hard. Rhea spent the rest of the evening cooking dinner, her mind replaying Kabir's words. He wasn't just frustrated. He was hurting, angry, and fragile. She didn't know how to help him, but she feared that if something was not done soon, things might get worse. Hours passed. Samir still hadn't returned when the clock struck 11. Rhea left dinner on the table for both brothers and went to her room. Sleep refused to come. Around midnight, she heard the main door open. Voices followed, Samir's low and calm, Kabir's louder and emotional. She got up and stepped outside, only to hear Kabir's voice break. "I'm trying," Kabir was saying, "but nothing works. Everywhere I go, they treat me like garbage." "They don't," Samir said patiently. "They do." Kabir snapped. "I'm not you, all right? I'm not the successful son, the perfect husband, the one who never fails. Stop comparing. I'm nothing compared to you," Kabir shouted. Rhea froze. Samir stood silently, pain flickering in his eyes. "Kabir." Samir tried again, but Kabir stepped back, shaking with anger and helplessness. "I should have never come here." He stormed to his room and slammed the door. Samir rubbed his forehead and sighed. When he noticed Rhea standing there, he gave her a weary smile. "He's hurting," Rhea said softly. "I know," Samir whispered, "but I don't know how to reach him." Neither of them slept well that night. The next morning, Rhea woke early to prepare breakfast. Kabir left his room around the same time, looking exhausted. Dark circles beneath his eyes, unshaven face, tense shoulders. When he saw her in the kitchen, he hesitated, almost as if debating whether to leave or stay. "Breakfast?" she asked quietly. He shook his head. "Not hungry. You haven't eaten properly in days." "I'm fine." "You're not," she said gently. Kabir's jaw clenched. Why do you care? Because you're family, she replied. That single word family made Kabir flinch. His expression softened for just a moment, vulnerability peeking through the cracks. But before she could say more, her phone rang again. Her boss, calling her urgently to the office. Rhea grabbed her bag, put breakfast on the table, and rushed out. She didn't know that when she returned, the tension in the house would explode. It was close to sunset when she came home. Samir had not returned yet, but Kabir was pacing the living room, tension radiating off him. Kabir, what happened? She asked, setting her bag down. He stopped pacing abruptly and turned to her with an expression she couldn't read. Fear, confusion, all mixed. You told Samir about last night, Kabir said. Rhea blinked. What? No, I didn't. Don't lie to me. His voice rose. I'm not lying. Kabir closed his eyes, pain twisting his features. Nobody understands me, he whispered. I'm trying to, she said. His eyes opened, filled with tears he refused to let fall. Why? Because I care. Because you're family. Because you matter. Kabir shook his head, taking a step back, as if her kindness was harder to face than anger. Don't say things like that. I don't want your pity. It's not pity, she insisted. No, you don't understand, Kabir said shakily. People leave me. They always leave. I'm still here, she said, and that broke him. His voice cracked. I didn't want to fight with you. I didn't want to fight either, she whispered. Kabir sank onto the couch, covering his face. Rhea sat across from him, giving him space, but not leaving him alone. Minutes passed before he spoke again. I feel lost, Kabir confessed. Like I don't know who I am anymore. Then, let us help you find yourself, Rhea replied softly. Kabir looked up slowly, eyes glassy. For the first time, he didn't avoid her gaze. Do you think I can change? He asked quietly. Yes, she said with certainty. You just need support, and patience, and honesty. Kabir swallowed. I'm sorry, Bobby. Rhea smiled gently. I know. The fight that had erupted so fiercely had finally dissolved into truth. Just then, the front door opened, and Samir walked in, stopping. When he saw the two of them, Rhea calm, Kabir exhausted but composed. What happened? Samir asked. Rhea looked at Kabir, giving him the choice. Kabir stood slowly, walked to his brother, and said, Bye. I need help, and I'm ready to try. Samir stared at him for a moment, then pulled him into a tight hug, relief softening his expression. Rhea watched them, warmth filling her chest. The storm had passed. Not forever, but for now, the Mehra household, once filled with unspoken tension, finally took its first step toward healing. Kabir began therapy soon after and started rebuilding his life piece by piece. He found a part-time job, reconnected with old friends, and slowly regained confidence. The fight Rhea and Kabir had that day became the turning point moment. Everything finally broke open so it could be rebuilt better. And though the journey was long, the family learned something important. Sometimes fights happen not because people hate each other, but because they are hurting and don't know how to say it. And sometimes, one honest moment can change everything.